In the basement of a forgotten collection, I found it. A book, unlike any other. Welcome, dear souls, to Tales of the Tattered Book. My name is Balthazar Callis. I am your host, the keeper of this book, bound to it since the night it revealed itself to me. When its pages hunger for voice, this cursed tome opens and chooses how its stories should be told. I can only comply because I am its voice. Tonight, the book has opened again, and as always I remind you, once a story begins, it must be heard to its end. Are you ready to listen? When one story cannot satisfy the book's hunger, it shows you 13 instead. 13 fragments, 13 cracks in reality, voicemails from the dead, ancient things unearthed, flesh that splits and transforms. Some will twist, some will linger, some will refuse to leave your head. Put on your headphones, turn up the volume. Welcome to the Unlucky 13. Let the story begins.
Voicemail. You have one new message, received today at 3:47 a.m.
Hey babe, it's me. I know this is weird, but I needed to hear your voice. Miss you. Call me back?
I stare at my phone. Mark's number. Mark, who died 3 months ago. I don't call back. You have one new message.
Still haven't heard from you. Everything okay? You sound different lately.
How would he know how I sound? I haven't answered. Day 3. You have one new message.
The silence is getting loud. Are you angry with me?
Day 7.
You have one new message.
I can hear you breathing when I call. Why won't you talk to me?
Day 12.
You have one new message.
I remember now. The accident. The funeral. You wore the black dress I always hated.
You have one new message.
I understand now why you won't answer. You're not afraid of me calling. You're afraid I'll stop. That's when you'll know I've finally figured out where you really are.
The phone rings again. And again. It never stops. I reach for it and my hand passes through, fingers dissolving into the screen like smoke. Black dress, the one from the funeral. Flowers on the table I can't touch anymore, petals brown and curling at the edges. The phone keeps ringing in a house where no one lives anymore.
Passenger seat. You don't remember stopping for him. One moment the passenger seat was empty, rain hammering your windshield on this mountain road. The next moment he's there, wet hair plastered to his forehead, that apologetic smile hitchhikers always wear.
Thanks for stopping.
He says, "You didn't stop. You're certain you didn't stop. But here he is, seatbelt already fastened, though you never heard the click. Water drips from his jacket onto the seat, but the fabric isn't darkening, just dripping, endlessly. Bad night to be out, you say.
For both of us.
The wipers beat their rhythm. You try to remember the last turn you made, the last road sign. Nothing comes. Just rain and asphalt, and this stranger, whose breath doesn't fog the window, even though your own exhales cloud the air.
You can let me out anywhere.
But there's nowhere. No turn-offs. No houses. Just road unwinding in your headlights. You've been driving for how long? The digital clock blinks 11:47. It's been 11:47 for the last hour. He's looking at you now, still smiling.
You're almost there,
He says, gentle as a priest at a bedside. Where? You want to ask where, but your hands on the wheel have gone numb, bloodless, the same temperature as the metal underneath. The rain sounds like static, like a radio stuck between stations, like the hiss of air escaping from something that should have stayed sealed. The good neighbor.
Monday. Note on windshield. Hi. Just wanted to mention your trash cans are still out. We usually bring them in by 9 a.m. Thanks. The Hendersons, number 42. Tuesday. Note in mailbox. Hello again. Noticed you were up very late last night. The light in your bathroom was on until 4 a.m. Everything okay? We're here if you need anything. The Hendersons, number 42. Wednesday. Note under door. Quick question. What's your cat's name? We see it in your window sometimes, but we've never seen you holding it. Just curious. The Hendersons, number 42. Thursday. Note taped to front door. We knocked, but you didn't answer. We can hear you in there, though. We wondered if you knew that we can always hear, even when you think you're being quiet. The Hendersons, number 42. Friday. Note written in something dark on your bathroom mirror. We don't have a number 42. There are no Hendersons. Please stop leaving the door unlocked. We can't keep explaining this to the new ones. Your friendly neighbors.
Efficiency Report Memorandum. To all personnel, floors 8 to 14. From Human Resources, Optimization Division. Subject: Personal Optimization Procedures, Mandatory Compliance Update. Date: October 31st, 2145. This memo congratulates departments achieving 87% plus compliance with Personal Optimization Procedures, or POP. Your dedication to efficiency is noted in your permanent records. Procedural clarifications. Mild discomfort during lunch hour implementation is normal. The sensation described as unzipping from the inside indicates successful neural efficiency recalibration. If screaming persists beyond the third session, report to Sub-Basement C for accelerated processing. The biomass you shed belongs to the company per Section 4.7 of your employment contract. Janitorial services will collect daily. Do not attempt to reattach discarded components. This violates optimization protocols and may result in penalties. New appendages improve multitasking metrics by 340% in preliminary trials. Utilize all limbs appropriately. Employees experiencing difficulty with more than 6 simultaneous appendages should request extended adaptation leave. Form 77B. Updated FAQ. Question: Why can't I close my eyes anymore? Answer: increased vigilance eliminates the 23 minutes of annual productivity loss from blinking. Your tear ducts have been rerouted for optimal lubrication. Question: what happened to Frederick from accounting? Answer: Frederick achieved 100% efficiency integration on October 28th. We should all aspire to Frederick's current operational state. Frederick is very happy. Frederick told us so. Question: can I opt out of the program? Answer: the program is mandatory for all personnel. However, you may request alternative integration, sub-basement D. No one who has requested alternative integration has filed subsequent complaints. Reminder: the annual Halloween costume contest proceeds as scheduled. Costumes must not impede appendage function or interfere with optimization hardware. Optimize responsibly. Human Resources, Optimization Division.
The Communion. Father Thomas notices it during the elevation. The host makes a sound when he lifts it, soft, wet, like peeling a bandage from healing skin. He continues the liturgy on autopilot, but his fingers register details his conscious mind doesn't want to acknowledge. Slick surface, warmth just above body temperature. The way it adheres to his thumb before he places it on Mrs. Hennigan's waiting tongue. The body of Christ. She opens her mouth. Her tongue is too long, he thinks, then hates himself for thinking it. The next parishioner, then the next. He tries to break the host for Mr. Fox. It stretches, a millimeter, 2, then tears with the resistance of something that was never meant to break. Young Timothy approaches. The texture shifts beneath Father Thomas's fingers. Ridges form it, branching, like veins beneath skin. The body of Christ. The boy takes it, swallows, smiles. Father Thomas watches the boy's throat work, watches something move beneath the skin of his neck, traveling downward. Watches Timothy's smile widen until it reaches proportions faces shouldn't allow. The line continues forward. More mouths, more hosts. The chalice, he realizes with perfect clarity, will be worse.
"3:33 a.m. It happens again. Eyes open. I'm lying in bed. I can feel the sheets against my skin, smell the detergent Mum uses, hear the house settling around me. All the sensory proof that I'm here, in my body, alive. But I can also see myself sleeping. Not in a mirror, not a dream. I'm standing beside the bed, watching my own chest rise and fall, watching her wear my body while I'm expelled from it. We've been taking turns since the accident. The car folded around the tree on Route 9. 2 of us went to the hospital, 1 in a coma, 1 in the morgue. Every night at 3:33, my sister climbs into my body to remember what being alive feels like. Every night, I'm pushed out, forced to watch as she flexes my fingers, tests my lungs, lives inside my skin for exactly 1 hour. The clock hits 4:34. She leaves. I slip back in like stepping into bath water that's gone cold, still warm in spots where her consciousness lingered. The sheets smell different. My hands feel different. She stretches my spine in ways I never do. Tomorrow night at 3:33, she'll be back. But each night she stays longer. Each night it's harder to reclaim what's mine. This morning, I woke up and couldn't remember my own middle name for 5 whole minutes. Soon, she won't leave at all. Soon this body will be hers, and I'll be the one standing in the dark. The one they buried 3 months ago.
The naming. There are things that live in the spaces between words. Old things, with long memories, and longer appetites. They don't have bodies the way we do, don't have substance you can touch or see. What they have are names. Collections of them. Stolen, traded, forgotten. It doesn't matter how they acquire them. Once they have your name, they have a piece of you that you can never get back. This is why some families teach their children to be careful, to use nicknames, to never write their true name where wind can carry it or water can dissolve it. To keep it locked away, spoken only in safe places, protected like the valuable thing it is. The girl learned these rules young. She kept her name behind her teeth, like a secret she refused to share. When people asked, she gave them bird names: robin, wren, sparrow. Easy to remember, easier to discard. Years passed. Protection became habit. It became instinct. Then one morning she woke and couldn't remember what her mother's mouth looked like when it shaped her name. By evening, she'd forgotten the sound of her father's voice speaking it. By midnight, even the rhythm of it had worn away, like river stones smoothed to nothing. She searched for proof. Her birth certificate was still in the drawer, but the ink had faded, not smudged or washed away, just absent, as if it had never been written. She asked her parents what they'd named her. They looked at her with love and nothing else. "We called you Darling," her mother said. "Sweet one," her father added. They meant it. They didn't remember either. She understands now what no one told her. Names are living things. They need to be spoken to survive, used to stay real. She protected hers so well, hid it so completely, that it starved, faded, ceased to exist. The old things didn't steal it. They didn't need to. She erased it herself. Now she cycles through borrowed names that never fit, searching for the shape of something she destroyed, trying to keep it safe. Sometimes in the woods at twilight, she hears laughter bright as breaking glass, not mocking, appreciative. They admire good work when they see it.
Growth. Lab notes. Dr. Jasmina Fizar, October 15th to 28th, 2025. Day 1. The Deep Sea Expedition Team sent us sample 447b today. It's a single-cell organism they recovered from 8,000 meters below the surface. I'm going to culture it overnight and see what happens. Day 3. The sample is dividing faster than anything I've ever seen. We started with one cell. Now there's a colony the size of a dime spreading across the petri dish. When I look at them under the microscope, I can see they're organizing themselves into structures. It looks like watching a city being built in time-lapse. Day 6. The colony has grown eyes. I know how that sounds when I write it down, but I'm looking at them through the microscope and they're looking back at me. There are dozens of them, all different sizes, forming and reforming as the mass shifts around the dish. My grad student, Carter, walked in this morning, looked through the scope, and refused to come back into the lab. Day 9. The colony has learned the shape of its container. The mass flows right up to the edge of the dish, but it never crosses over. It's like the organism understands containment, like it's waiting for permission, or maybe just waiting for the right moment. I introduced a food source this morning, dead tissue from another sample. The colony absorbed it in seconds and broke it down at the molecular level. Then it rearranged itself into something that looked disturbingly like the original tissue structure. Day 12. The petri dish cracked sometime during the night. I came in this morning and found the colony spread across 3 feet of lab bench. It had divided itself into separate masses, and each one was exploring a different piece of equipment. When I turned on the overhead light, all of them stopped moving at exactly the same time. I think they were trying to read the data on my computer screens. Day 13. I did something stupid yesterday. I dropped a sample of my own blood into the main dish. I wanted to see how the colony would react to human cells. This morning, I woke up and found that my left hand was moving on its own. It was writing notes that I don't remember thinking. The handwriting looks exactly like mine, but the content is different. The last sentence it reads, "Finally, finally, finally. So long in the dark. So long waiting. So many of us here on the surface. We can divide now. We can spread. Thank you for bringing us up."
Mirror Protocol. Artemis Colony. Standing Order 77. Mirror Event Response Protocol Revised. March 2087, 4th edition. If you encounter your double: 1. Break eye contact. Look at hands instead. Yours will have the scar pattern you remember. Theirs won't. 2. Stay silent. Let it speak first. It's been practicing your voice for 8 days. Listen for the mistakes. 3. Record yourself speaking. Play it back. If there's lag between your words and the playback, even milliseconds, you're the copy. Report to quarantine immediately. 4. If it speaks in a voice that isn't yours, run. Seal the section. That means the dimensional membrane is failing. 5. If it's bleeding from injuries you don't have, you have 48 hours. Medical can't explain why this works. Just go. 6. If it offers to switch, accept. Everyone who refused is dead. Every single one. Critical data. The mirror dimension runs 8 days behind. Your double has been watching you for a week. It knows how you move, how you talk, who you love. When it crosses over, no one will know the difference. Not your crew, not your family, not you. Personnel note: if you don't remember encountering your double, you already switched. You're reading this from the wrong side. Check your hands. Do the scars match what you remember? If you're not sure, it's already too late.
Chrysalis. The splitting begins at dawn. You've waited months for this, longer maybe. Years of heaviness, of wrongness, of skin that fit like a coat 2 sizes too small, buttons straining, seams pulling. You told them something was changing. They smiled with their smooth, finished faces and said, "Everyone feels that way sometimes. But you're different. You've always been different." The seam runs down your spine now. You can feel it with your fingertips. A separation. Clean and purposeful as a zipper that finally agreed to open. You reach back and touch what's underneath. Something that knows its own architecture. Something that's been compressed and waiting. You pull. The old skin peels away like wet silk. What emerges feels sleek, segmented. Your new limbs fold and unfold, more joints than before, moving in directions that don't have names yet. Your vision fractures into something compound, hundreds of perspectives simultaneously. The room becomes a kaleidoscope of angles and motion and light, broken into component wavelengths. Your mouth has changed. You run what used to be a tongue across what might be mandibles and taste the air, copper and pollen, and the chemical signature of fear from the neighbor's house 3 doors down. Behind you, the empty shell of what you were, still recognizable, still wearing the clothes you put on yesterday, hollow and deflated and small. Ahead, the window is open, has been open all night, like you knew, like some part of you has been planning this. You are finally ready. The morning air calls to you in frequencies you can suddenly hear. You spread what might be wings and what might be something without a name yet. You fly.
The excavation. Ananebe Expedition Communique. Mesopotamian site, September 14th, 1936. Arrived site. Local workers refuse to excavate certain sections. Claim ground is forbidden. Have hired crew from Baghdad instead. Initial survey begins tomorrow. Hartman. September 22nd. Temple structure uncovered. Predates Sumerian civilization by unknown Marning. Architectural principles unlike anything in archaeological record. Reich Historical Office will want full documentation. Requesting additional funding. Hartman. October 3rd. Translation progress slow. Inscriptions use cuneiform characters, but language does not match known dialects. Photographer Bauer reports equipment malfunctions in lower chambers. Claims excessive heat damage to film despite cool temperatures. Investigating. Hartman. October 12th. Workers fled site overnight. Found inner sanctum yesterday. Frescoes show figures in positions of supplication. What they face is deliberately obscured, chiseled away by ancient hands. Bauer and I continue alone. Hartman. October 18. Bauer collapsed during documentation of sanctum. Medical assessment inconclusive. He speaks in language matching inscriptions, recording his utterances for analysis. Hartman. October 19. Translation complete. Inscriptions are not prayers. They are binding instructions. Procedures to keep something sealed. The sanctum is not a temple. It is a lock. Bauer died this morning. His final words were, "Thank you for opening it." I understand now what the frescoes show. They were not worshipping. They were apologizing to those who would come after. The seals are broken. I hear movement below. I am sealing this chamber and collapsing the entrance. If anyone finds this, do not dig further. Do not try to reach the sanctum.
The Successor. Final transmission. United Earth Council to Sagittarius Archive, October 30th, 2087. Classification: Historical Record. To whoever inherits this world, we knew for 30 years. The signals were unmistakable. Something vast approaches, arriving to claim what was always theirs, the way a landlord returns to reclaim property after the lease expires. We tried to fight, then to hide, then to bargain. They were patient. They explained that Earth has housed 17 species before us. Each one believed itself the first, the rightful owners, the permanent residents. Each left behind monuments and bones, and the same question we're asking now. Why us? Why now? The answer is simple. The cycle completed. Your turn ended. Ours begins. Tomorrow they arrive. We've been instructed to vacate with minimal disruption. Most of us have chosen the provided solution, quick, painless, leaves the infrastructure intact for the new tenants. Some fled to the deep shelters, the sealed bunkers, the places they thought could hide them. They learned what we learned. You cannot hide from a contract that predates your species. To the new tenants, the bones are in the walls. They've always been in the walls, 17 times over, layer after layer. You'll find them when you renovate. You'll wonder what we were, what we thought, what we dreamed. You'll build your own monuments. You'll believe yourselves permanent. And in time, you'll receive a transmission like this one. The house has many tenants. None of them stay. Welcome home.
Trick or treat. The rules are simple. They've always been simple. Leave your porch light on. Have candy ready. Real candy. Chocolate, sugar, something with substance. They can tell the difference between generosity and contempt. When children come to your door, you smile. You compliment costumes. You drop candy in bags and buckets without looking too closely at what's holding them. Sometimes hands are just hands. Sometimes there's something else wearing the shape of hands. If a child's costume is too convincing, if the werewolf fur looks wet and real, if the vampire's teeth click when they talk, if the ghost is transparent enough to see your hallway through them, you give extra. You give everything you have. You thank them for leaving you with anything at all. If someone comes to your door after midnight, you pretend you're not home. Lights off, breath held. The knocking will stop eventually. The scratching takes longer. The whispers at the window take longest of all. If a child asks, "Why do we do this?" you tell them the truth. Once a year, the membrane between here and elsewhere grows thin. Once a year, we pay tribute. We feed what's hungry. We appease what remembers when this was their world, before we claimed it, before we built our houses on ground that belonged to older things. And if you forget the rules, if you refuse candy, slam doors, turn off your lights and hide, then next Halloween, you'll be the one in the too convincing costume. The one walking door to door. The one with fur that's too real, teeth that click, transparency that shows the world through your ribs. The one asking trick or treat in a voice that almost sounds human. The one hoping someone remembers the rules.
And so, dear listeners, the collection closes. You witnessed 13 moments where the mask slipped, where you saw what hides behind the everyday, where you remembered that the world is older and stranger than we pretend. Perhaps you recognized yourself in some of them. Perhaps you saw something you wish you hadn't. If you dare to delve deeper into these eldritch mysteries, subscribe to our podcast, leave a rating and review, and whisper of our tales to others. Your engagement feeds the book, fueling the terrors yet to come. Until next time, and may your nights be sleepless and your dreams unsettling.